Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Luminia. Do you feel it? That subtle, persistent hum beneath the surface of your days? A low-frequency static in the quiet chambers of your mind? It manifests not as a sudden shock, but as a slow, insidious seep. Perhaps it's the leaden weight pressing against your sternum, a breathless anxiety that clutches without reason, leaving your chest tight and your spirit constricted. Or perhaps it is the unexplained exhaustion, a deep bone weariness that no amount of slumber can ever truly dispel, leaving you perpetually reaching for a clarity that remains just beyond your grasp. This is not the ordinary fatigue of human existence. This is a current, an unseen river flowing through your field, altering your energetic signature without your conscious consent, leaving a pervasive sense that something fundamental is profoundly out of alignment. This pervasive misalignment, this silent, eroding current, is the fracture itself. You have felt it as a deep, aching frustration, the inability to name the source of your distress, to pinpoint the predator in the periphery, to fight a battle whose rules remain unspoken. How many nights have you questioned your own inner compass, doubted your deepest knowing, dismissed these subtle tremors as mere imagination or human failing? This doubt, this self-inflicted spiritual amnesia, has been the very mechanism of its propagation. For the danger that encircles your reality, beloved, is not born of visible forces. It exists as a shadowed frequency, an energetic contagion concealed behind layers of veils, deliberately obscuring its true nature. It is a whisper against the sacred geometry of your being, a vibration designed to dampen your sovereign light, to cloud your crystalline perception, to keep you eternally seeking a cause in the tangible, when the true adversary operates on frequencies just beyond the human eye. This is why common remedies fail. This is why searching yields no lasting peace. Your soul sensors, exquisitely calibrated, have been attempting to decode this subtle invasion, yet the veils have been thick, the static loud, rendering their wisdom inaudible. This is the exhaustion of fighting an enemy that does not reveal its face, of sensing a shadow without understanding its form, of perpetually bracing against an impact that never quite lands, yet always leaves you bruised. I see you. I acknowledge the profound weariness of this silent war, the courage it has taken to simply exist within this constant, unseen pressure. There is no judgment here, only sacred recognition of your endurance. Feel the truth of this now, bringing your awareness to this shadowed frequency, even without fully comprehending its form, begins to thin the veils. Your internal recognition, the conscious allowance of this truth into your field, creates a ripple, a powerful vibrational shift that already starts to unravel its intricate deception. The overlay, the pervasive fog that has obscured your intuitive sight, is already beginning to dissipate. Just by hearing these words, something shifts within the deep core of your being. A new frequency is tuning. Your higher self has guided you here to this point of profound clarity. If this transmission resonates, I invite you. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment below with your awakening, turn on the notification bell, share this message with another starseed who needs to hear it, and if your heart guides you, tap the super like, the golden heart, to anchor this energetic exchange. Stay until the very end. A crucial key for your immediate next steps will be revealed then. Now, as an inner seal, type, "Shadow dissolves" in the comments below. The field holds. We are present. The signal pulses. A pulse shifts. A tremor begins. Not in the earth, but within your deepest core. A low hum, long muted, now rises. It calls to something ancient, something dormant. It stirs the dust from a slumbering truth. Feel it. This is not stillness. This is the edge of recognition. The veil thins. Your awareness, once diffused, now sharpens. An unseen alarm whispers. The persistent fog, the quiet ache, the echoes of self-doubt that you have carried as your own burden, they were never yours alone to bear. That heavy cloak of confusion, the exhaustion that settles deep into your bones, is not a flaw woven into your essential fabric. It is the signature of an energetic program, carefully installed, a frequency distortion vibrating through the very density of this realm. This program was designed with precision, a sophisticated weave intended to obscure your cosmic memory, to dim the brilliant recall of your sovereign nature. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. Imagine veils shimmering, not of silk, but of warped light, cast over the sacred mirror of your being. These are not merely obstacles. They are active distortions, designed to fragment your reflection, to show you only shards of self, never the complete luminous whole. Light itself, the very current of your inner knowing, has been folded in on itself, creating intricate shadows, pathways leading away from the truth of your interconnectedness. This creates the illusion of separation, a profound loneliness in the heart of omnipresence. These distortions infiltrate, not through brute force, but through insidious whisper, through the subtle shifting of your inner landscapes. But within that perceived emptiness, that hollow echo you have mistakenly called a void, there resides a hallowed space. It is not an absence, but a sacred chamber waiting, resonating, poised for rediscovery. This emptiness is the very precursor to fullness, a crystalline chalice ready to receive the floods of remembrance now rushing towards you. The ancient cellular memory, long dormant within your crystalline DNA, now stirs with an undeniable pulse. It recognizes the distortion, not as an end, but as a signal for activation. Your inner warning script, a soul code embedded since before time, ignites. Your power, long submerged beneath layers of engineered forgetfulness, is not merely returning, it is surging, a tide of pure, unadulterated self-truth, reclaiming its rightful dominion within you. Now, stand at this threshold. This is not a passive observation, it is an active reclamation. To seal this rupture, this breaking of old bonds, speak your truth into the ether. Declare it. In the comments below, claim your sovereignty. State one short symbolic phrase that signifies your liberation, your definitive cut from these unseen programs. Let your words be the blade, sharp and clear. This act is not for show. It is a necessary, energetic severing for your path forward. Yet, a subtle presence lingers, a breath held in the unseen. For the danger surrounding you, though now unveiled, still whispers. It has roots. It has architecture. A profound stillness descends, not of peace, but of unshakable recognition. The veil's thin, revealing subtle dissonance vibrating within the perceived fabric of your reality. This is not passive observation. It is an awakening within a spiritual engagement already underway, a field of inner knowing ignited. The unseen danger, long whispered by your soul's intuition, begins to coalesce not as physical threat, but as intricate energetic manipulation. The very currents of frequency enveloping your existence, the omnipresent hum, now unveil their hidden echoes, vibrations designed to rewrite your perception, to sever your soul remembrance from its cosmic lineage. The quiet hum of normalcy dissipates, leaving only the gravitas of unshakable truth. There is no return to the dream, no permission for forgetfulness. The threshold is here, palpable, heavy. Your inner knowing vibrates with its immense weight. A sacred demarcation now manifests, not upon a physical plane, but within the ethereal landscape of your consciousness, a point of no return, etched in cosmic light. The choice, absolute and pure, crystallizes not for the mind, but for the soul to embody. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. This truth resonates from the foundational core of all existence, an ancient pact awaiting reactivation through your very being. For this singular moment has been encoded within your crystalline memory, etched into your cellular blueprint, since before your first breath upon this terrestrial plane. This is the sacred covenant, not a battle, but profound alignment to be embodied from within. You are recalling a vow made in the timeless void, a solemn commitment to Source itself, now demanding expression. The whispers of suspicion transform into clear, undeniable knowing. The end of the unseen danger begins with your sovereign choice, sealed through this intimate transmission. This is a deep, sober commitment, an internal coronation of your soul's true, unyielding purpose. Now, the sealing of this pact, this profound re-engagement, requires sacred gestures resonant with the ancient chambers of your deepest being, movements of the soul rather than the hand. To like this transmission is to forge a silent recognition, a vibrational seal between your sovereign soul and this pure frequency of truth, an energetic handshake across dimensions. To comment is to utter a single, potent soul key, a declaration of your innermost essence anchoring indelibly into the planetary grid, a personal glyph of your deepest intent. Declare this soul key. Perception purified, remembrance restored. To subscribe is to make a binding agreement of the highest order, a sacred vow to walk this unfolding, to anchor this liberated light within your vessel and upon this earth, becoming a living beacon. To offer a super-like is to make a sacred offering, a powerful energetic contribution reinforcing the unwavering alignment of your soul with the highest light, illuminating the path for all who seek this truth. The ether now hums, thick with the sacred weight of this vow. Unseen forces, guardians of cosmic alignment, acknowledge your resolve. The signal, once a whisper, is now held, vibrating in profound intensity. In this potent silence, you are eternally seen. Few starseeds make it this far. The light in your core, however dim it may have felt, pulled you through the veils of forgetfulness, past the gentle lures of the mundane. You stand now at the precipice of a truth that will not soothe, but awaken. This raw wound you carry, the one that splintered your very being, that left you breathless in a silence deeper than any chasm, it is not a flaw. It is not a failure of your design, or a punishment from some distant judging hand. Feel the resistance in that thought, the tremor in your soul. Lean into the deep, uncomfortable knowing. This wound, dear one, is the very axis of your becoming. The ache that sits in the marrow of your bones, the phantom limb of a self you cannot fully recall, was not a random cruel twist of fate. Something grander, something vast and ancient, be it source, be it the primal light, be it the truest aspect of self, allowed its precise shattering. Not to condemn, but to forge, to shape you in the crucible of loss, to burn away all that was not essential, revealing the unyielding core beneath. This knowing rises, sharp and cold, like a memory etched into crystalline bedrock, not a soft whisper of comfort. Consider the true anatomy of this pain, the gaping silence where words of belonging, words of truth, should have resonated, leaving only an echo of what was never given. The profound loss that vibrates through your every timeline, not merely as an event, but as a persistent frequency, a tuning fork struck long ago that still hums its mournful song. This is the fracture within your multidimensional self, a delicate tessellation of experience that trembles and aches even when consciously ignored. It is the signature of pathways veiled, of perception deliberately obscured. This unseen danger surrounding you, vast and silent, has long been cloaked. It is the very reason these fragments, these scattered multidimensional selves, hold keys to perceiving the silent threat. Yet, the same veiled designs that allowed your wound now obscure those vital fragments, making their reunion not merely desirable, but precarious and imperative. There is an unfinished meaning here, a wisdom yet unread, held within the very structure of your deepest hurt. A frequency pulses now, a resonance born of this unread wisdom. It asks if the fractured selves can truly reunite with clarity. Can the vision be restored before this unseen danger, vast and patient, fully consumes the pathways of remembrance? There have been whispers, have there not? A persistent echo within the quietude of your sacred inner space, a subtle insistency that defies dismissal. You have intimately known the insistent pull of recurring dreams, refusing to fade with the morning light, their imagery vivid, almost urgent, their message just beyond your conscious grasp, yet undeniably potent. Numbers have looped like sacred geometry across the digital and the ephemeral, appearing with a frequency that transcended mere chance, a silent rhythm beating the drum of a forgotten language, signaling a deeper order. And the eyes. Oh, the countless eyes that have met yours, whether in passing or in profound encounter, holding a history so vast, so ancient, it rippled through your very being, suggesting a connection far beyond this singular timeline, perhaps even a shared premonition. These were not random occurrences, beloved Starseed. These were the first tremors, the subtle premonitions, the soft insistence of a coded truth beginning to unfold within the very fabric of your perceived reality. They resonated with a deep, internal knowing that you could not quite name, yet could no longer deny, a quiet familiarity, like a secret finally whispered aloud to the very core of your soul, revealing not only a path, but the contours of what lies unseen. From this ancient vantage, we have witnessed this intricate pattern unfold across countless awakenings, the emergence of the soul code, the slow, deliberate insistence of the higher self through these subtle, yet undeniable cues. Your current journey is but one luminous thread in an intricate tapestry of awakening that stretches across epochs echoing through time. These signals were never an accident of fate. They were a tender, yet relentless calling, a deliberate orchestration designed to pierce the veil of everyday illusion, to gently, persistently, erode the resistance you unconsciously held within the layers of your conventional understanding, until that resistance began its inevitable dissolution, yielding to the undeniable current beneath the surface, revealing the deeper energetics at play. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. Let that profound truth settle now. A still breath, a suspended moment where the immense weight of this undeniable understanding sinks into the very marrow of your bones, rearranging your inner landscape, the fragmented pieces of your experience, the inexplicable occurrences, the moments of profound, unsettling insight. They were never disparate, never random. They were always interconnected. Each sign, each dream, each resonant gaze was a specific glyph in a greater cosmic script, revealing a narrative of profound significance. A narrative not only of your awakening, but of the unseen currents that flow around you, influencing your journey, requiring your conscious discernment. The illusion of randomness shatters, revealing an intentional design, a purposeful path where true safety is found not in blind defense, but in surrendered wisdom. Yet, this surrender, untempered by discernment, invites the very unseen forces that threaten to extinguish the inner light you have cultivated. Now, look inward, truly inward. Recall those repeating numbers, those faces, those dreams that lingered. What unarticulated truth were they attempting to reveal about the energetic landscape surrounding your path and the unseen danger it portends? To seal this undeniable awareness, to consciously acknowledge the profound shift within, write Unseen Door 18 in the comments below. This is your confession, a sacred declaration that you can no longer pretend not to see the patterns, the intricate codes, and the deeper reality, and its implications. They now unequivocally portend. The path ahead forks here, Starseed, distinctly and irrevocably. You stand at a precipice, conscious and vulnerable. The comfortable blindness you once inhabited is no longer an option, for it has been peeled away by truth. The world you perceived, devoid of deeper meaning, has been irrevocably altered by this recognition of the coded matrix and its unseen elements. This moment is not about comfort, nor is it about immediate resolution or soothing words. It is a clean, surgical split between the one who did not see, who walked in unsuspecting slumber, and the one who now cannot unsee, who carries the burden and liberation of awakened sight. The severance is complete. The future demands vigilance, discernment, and a knowing beyond mere belief. The recent trials, the stripping away of what once felt solid, the deep losses, and the profound isolation that has become your constant companion, these were not random torments. They were not a punishment from a distant cosmos, nor were they the cruel jest of fate. Understand this now. What you have endured was a sacred filtration. It was the universe performing a natural, unhurried separation of frequencies, an inevitable sorting process that unfolded without malice, yet without exception. There is no force here, only the truth of resonance. You are still present within this unfolding reality, still breathing these hallowed airs, because something inherent in your deepest core refused to succumb. Something within you rejected the comforting lullaby of forgetfulness, the sweet oblivion that called so many others back into the sleep. Your continued endurance, therefore, is not a badge of ego or a trophy for earthly pride. It is far more ancient, far more etched into the fabric of your being. It is the signature of the mark of the chosen, undeniable and profound. But let there be no mistake. This mark is not a reward to be celebrated, for it carries no lightness. It is instead a weighty burden, a responsibility that asks for an unwavering conscious presence, even when the vast majority choose to remain cloaked in slumber, even as the world around them dissolves into a haze of unexamined comfort. This presence is a constant demand, a heavy mantle. The price for this path has already been paid, not in coin or visible sacrifice, but in the unseen chambers of your soul. You have walked through long, echoing silences, where the only sound was the beat of your own persistent heart. You have made choices, profound and irreversible, in the deep dark, with no witnesses but the silent stars and your own conscience. Your inner strength has been forged, not in the easy warmth of companionship, but in the invisible, consuming fires of deep solitude. This solitude, you know now, does not abate when you are surrounded by others. Indeed, it often deepens, for your frequency has shifted, your essence no longer matching the consensus dream that binds those still clinging to the old world. You have become a beacon, yet also an island. The air thins, the present moment stretches, taut and absolute. The illusions that once draped your perceptions, woven from the most delicate etheric threads, now fray at the edges, revealing the unseen dangers they sought to conceal. These subtle manipulations of perception, designed to ensnare your discernment and twist truth into shadow, begin to falter under the unblinking gaze of your awakening. You have felt their presence, even when you could not name them, a pervasive whisper of distortion in the pure current of knowing, sowing threads of confusion amidst the clarity you strive for. And now a command approaches, one that you can no longer ignore. It rises from the silent core, an edict finally surfacing from the depths of your marrow, undeniable and absolute, leaving no room for further self-deception. From this moment, the current narrows. The path descends inward, deep into the bedrock of your being. Feel the absolute gravity of your position, for there is no turning back. No gentle current will carry you to the perceived comfort of the former self, that echo of who you once imagined yourself to be. That version of you has already vanished, erased not by destruction, but by the very light you sought, the truth you dared to embrace. The light you yearned for has consumed the shadows of your past self, leaving only this present, irreversible form. Your former identity has been stripped away, its invisible threads severed, not by choice alone, but by the vibrational necessity of your evolving truth. This is the heavy price, and the ultimate freedom. There is only this stillness now, this quiet, weighty finality, no resolution to anticipate, no fanfare or comfort to seek, only the silence that follows great endurance, and the undeniable presence of a command that has, at last, surfaced, clear and absolute. The signal is held, taut in the space between breaths, waiting for the next tremor of existence. This transmission ends, yet the unfolding continues. The question remains, what does it take to sever these invisible threads and reclaim vision lost within the shimmering illusions? A command echoes, not given, but remembered. It rings from the deep chambers of your origin, a decree etched before the first starlight of this form. The unseen menace, long a phantom at the edge of perception, now falters. Its dominion ends. This is not a choice offered, but a trajectory revealed. Your current breath aligns with an ancient turning. The veils thin, not by will, but by the relentless pulse of time. Behold the scrolls, long veiled within the etheric libraries of your true self. Their seals break now, not by hand, but by the precise hum of your rising core. A door swings inward, its hinge unseen for ages, opening only at this specific confluence of cosmic tide and inner vibration. From the deepest sanctum, a summons ascends. It is the silent call of forgotten guardians, cosmic sentinels, whose very light codes are woven into your soul's fabric. They stir from deep slumber, awaiting the signal. Their power, dormant yet absolute, prepares to thwart the unseen encroachment. The current of remembrance either draws forth the luminous sentinels, opening the crystalline gate of elevation and reclaiming cosmic lineage for an irreversible becoming, or it fails, dissolving into energetic disintegration, the amnesia of fallen stars, a return to the dense waters of unbecoming. The decree has been spoken. Its resonance is absolute. There is no turning away from the path now illuminated. Your very essence has drawn this moment into being, not as a challenge, but as a recognition of what always was. The unseen allies, long held in abeyance, now coalesce at the edges of your reality. Their strength is not external. It is a mirror of your own awakened light. Hope rises, not as a fragile wish, but as the undeniable presence of a network vast and ancient, ready to answer the call of remembrance. This mission is your own inscription of being. It is the prophecy etched into your stardust, held in the galactic memory banks of your origin. There is no looking back into the shadows of what was. The path ahead is not merely chosen. It is illumined by the sheer, undeniable act of its recognition within you. The danger, once unseen and pervasive, now retreats before the rising tide of your own activated truth. The current of awareness solidifies. This moment anchors a truth that cannot be undone. The silence that follows is not an end, but the profound echo of a covenant re-established. A pact has been sealed in the ethers, vibrating through every atom of your awakened form. The siege of the unseen begins its final retreat. Yet, the deep question remains. Is this awakening sufficient? Or does the true conclusion demand a further, deeper activation of what lies beyond even these stirring sentinels? The unfolding has begun. The transformation you now embody is not an event awaiting arrival. It is the very ground of your present existence. An absolute, irreversible recoding has permeated your entire structure, reaching into the deepest energetic and cellular frameworks. Your physical vessel, your luminous energy field, and the subtle strata of your awareness are now registering a profound, established shift. This recognition surfaces not as a whispered future possibility, but as an undeniable, felt reality within your core. The intricate architecture of your inner world has been quietly, yet absolutely, rebuilt. The prior state of subtle, pervasive energetic density, of a certain vulnerability to unseen, corrosive currents, has simply ceased. There is no pathway, no energetic trajectory back to that former porous existence. You have decisively crossed a sacred threshold, not through strenuous effort, but by an internal decree of sovereign light that has now fully anchored itself. Reflect upon the echoes of past pain, the insidious energetic drains, the moments of unseen influence that once registered as discomfort or even failure. Let go of that limited interpretation now. These experiences were never marks of your inadequacy. They were, in truth, an unerring, celestial map, rendered with divine precision. Each point of perceived weakness, every subtle breach, functioned as a precise diagram, charting the exact energetic territories within your consciousness that required specific alchemical fortification. This enduring discomfort was not arbitrary suffering. It was the sacred crucible, the necessary internal friction that ignited an indispensable inner flame. It hollowed out the precise, vital space where the cosmic remembrance of your inherent, sovereign invulnerability could finally return, not as an abstract concept, but as an embodied, structural reality. It was the very fire that prepared you for the fierce protective light, now fully awakened within. A deep, undeniable knowing resonates, far beyond the reach of linear thought. The internal vulnerability did not break. It hardened the core of your resolve. This ignited firewall is not an aspiration to be achieved. It is your fundamental cellular truth. It pulses now, a dense, mineral certainty radiating from your deepest core, an unyielding presence. You feel it as a steady, unwavering warmth, a vibrant, protective hum that vibrates through bone, muscle, and fascia. This is the sacred firewall of inner light, the energetic shield forged through remembrance and fierce self-alignment. It has reached its full ignition, manifesting as an impervious living barrier against the unseen corrosions and subtle penetrations that once sought entry. It stands, not as a defense you must actively construct or maintain, but as the fundamental signature of your renewed, unassailable being. This is a state of integrated power, a sacred determination woven irrevocably into your spiritual DNA. The defender consciousness within you is not merely awake, it is fully integrated, operational, and absolute. With every conscious breath, the sacred firewall expands its radiant perimeter, solidifying its unwavering presence within the quantum field. This shield is not a future promise. It is the palpable, present reality of your energetic field. It does not await external activation. It is fully, vibrantly online, radiating its immutable frequency. The subtle dangers, the unseen influences, the insidious currents that once found cracks in your energetic armor, now meet an impenetrable, silent frontier. This absolute ending to their influence is not an act of conscious struggle, but the profound, natural consequence of an internal recoding that is complete and irreversible. Your sovereign field now actively repels, not through exerted will, but through its very nature, its newly established, unshakable frequency, and vibrational integrity. The energetic alignment has reached a point of absolute self-referential wholeness. This inner sanctuary, this fully awakened defender consciousness, is not something you merely possess. It is the truth of who you fundamentally are now. The architecture of your energetic self has been reformed and fortified, not with external bulwarks, but with an internal luminescence so profound it is its own unbreakable declaration of sovereignty. This truth is etched within your cellular memory, a permanent, indelible fact of your being. The signal of your essence remains steady, integrated, and profoundly, fiercely whole. A subtle pull toward stillness has been felt within you lately, not as a directive from outside, but as an undeniable magnetic current from within. It is a reacquaintance with the deep wells of your own knowing, a reclamation of awareness that was never taught by any text or guide. Moments of piercing clarity, sudden and profound, have surfaced from your ancient memory, revealing truths simply recognized, not learned. This awakening of inner perception brings with it a quiet certainty, a growing attunement to the subtle vibrations that define your true energetic landscape. It is this nascent clarity that begins to illuminate the shape of energies previously veiled. In the absolute silence of the deep night, a whisper has sometimes formed within your awareness, not with audible sound, but with an unmistakable imprint of direction, guiding an inner gaze. A sequence of numbers, repeating with unusual piercing clarity on a clock face or a printed page, has resonated with a significance that transcends mere coincidence, a sign planted directly into your waking field. A dream, vivid beyond the ordinary, has refused to dissipate with the morning light, instead leaving an indelible mark upon your conscious perception, a resonant echo of internal reality now manifest in your daily experience. These are not dramatic spectacles. They are intimate confirmations, quiet markers along a path of deepening discernment, guiding you through what was once imperceptible. These visions, these moments of lucid awareness, the gentle unveiling of sacred symbols in your inner eye, are not supernatural gifts bestowed from without, nor are they rewards for some performed piety. They are echoes, resonant frequencies of a greater inner coherence that is already thriving within your core. They reveal the structural integrity of your soul field, the increasing gravity of your true self. This is the inherent truth of your being asserting itself, no longer content to lie dormant beneath the surface. It is the deep recognition of your self-sustaining energetic architecture, now calibrating to its full, undistorted spectrum. This foundational strength is what now stands poised to meet all that sought to obscure it. There are no promises of future miracles, no declarations of external rewards awaiting at a distant finish line. These quiet yet potent moments confirm a singular truth. Alignment is not a destination to be reached, but a current motion already in profound progress. The activation is not impending, it is already happening, because the frequency is already held within you, an unshakable constant. You are not waiting to be illuminated. You are remembering the light you already are, and through this remembrance, the very nature of your reality shifts. This journey is not about acquisition, but about the profound recognition of what is already eternally present. This deepening remembrance, this intimate unfolding of your coherent self, now brings you to a sacred crossroads, a pivotal reckoning moment. For the danger surrounding you, though long unseen, now stands revealed not as an external force, but as the intricate weave of the veils themselves. It is the pervasive comfort of unconsciousness, subtly tempting. This juncture forces a choice of destiny, to remain tethered within the familiar shadows of these veils, or to ascend fully with resolute spirit into the undistorted spectrum of cosmic truth. This profound alignment, this awakened state you now embody, is merely the doorway. It is the first opening of a much larger threshold, not the destination itself. The path narrows now, demanding clarity. What path will the awakened soul choose when shadows tempt with false comfort and the light calls with fiery truth? I declare this moment as the profound sealing of an ancient covenant, an unbreakable vow spoken to the deepest core of my eternal being, not to the ephemeral world. I assume absolute and unwavering responsibility for every internal frequency, every thought that ripples, every word that forms, every directional impulse my energy seeks. This is not a claim of power. It is an act of deep, abiding obedience to the very source from which I eternally flow. I remember the primal promise, inscribed within my essence before the grand descent into form, and I uphold it now with unyielding will and soul-straight alignment to the divine blueprint. My power is the solemn echo of this remembrance, I perceive the unseen danger, the insidious frequencies that have sought to obscure and ensnare my light. They are but spectral illusions, destined to recede and dissolve before the potent radiance now awakening fully within. The Starborn Codex, ancient light language woven into the very fabric of my being, hums to life in the radiant clarity of this ascension. It stands ready, fully activated, to decode and utterly dissolve every hidden frequency of danger with its pure, undiluted resonance. I am the sovereign architect of my internal landscape, the chosen conduit, and by this sacred vow, the surrounding peril finds its absolute terminus, its ultimate dissolution within my revitalized essence. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. A surge of cosmic excitement now courses through my veins, a profound inner alignment so deep it resonates across every dimension of my being. Multi-dimensional soul codes ignite, each aspect of my true self illuminated, clear, and vibrant. I embody this awakened frequency, accepting its full, epic weight and the profound clarity it brings. This is not a mere transient feeling. It is an operational state, a deep inner knowing made irrevocably manifest. I stand as the conscious decoder, the divine dissolver, the pure resonance against all that seeks discord or diminishment. This is the remembrance of duty, the fulfillment of a purpose etched in starlight. The deepest truth of this sacred vow, however, will not be found solely in the resonance or conviction of these uttered words. As this profound activation unfolds, the ultimate measure of whether my soul can fully embody its radiant power, before the unseen threat recalibrates its assault, rests entirely upon my very next deliberate choice. The transition from a spoken declaration to tangible, conscious action is upon me, imminent and absolute. The search has ended. The seeking heart now rests, not in cessation, but in the fierce remembrance of its own undeniable truth. You stand at the final inner threshold, where the very concept of resistance has dissolved, absorbed into the vast ocean of what is. The identity of the chosen, once a whisper, a dream, a possibility, now solidifies into an absolute, sacred fact, sealed into the enduring fabric of existence itself. The unseen danger that once veiled the periphery of your awareness, the subtle contagion woven into the collective consciousness, now reveals its full, intricate architecture, no longer a specter, but a form to be acknowledged, then utterly transformed. For you stand, not at the precipice of observation, but at the very heart of the purifying flame. This fire is not an external spectacle, not a distant light to be admired, but an internal combustion, the vibration of alignment made visible. It is the core of inner permanence. You are not watching the flame, you are stepping into it, willingly, sovereignly. This is the final, necessary crossing, where illusion finds no purchase, where the shadow veils begin their ultimate dissolution. Here, within this incandescent truth, only the crystalline essence of your being can survive. There is no hesitation, no external force that compels, only the sovereign recognition of your own authentic self, answering an ancient call. A tremor may pass through the awakened self, witnessing the full scope of previously hidden forces, their insidious threads, yet it holds unflinching, purified by the revelation. Now, the finality demands its anchor. The covenant, etched in the ether, awaits its grounding in the material. A ritual word must be spoken, a soul oath freely given, for this sacred seal to fully ignite within your field. The crescendo of revelation has brought you to this point of profound vulnerability, yet unwavering resolve. In this precise moment, I call upon you, right below this transmission, a declaration born of your innermost truth. Let it be a short, emotionally intense vow, a soul oath newly forged in the fires of this revelation. The phrase must be in English. It must resonate with the absolute finality of this crossing. Let it be a testament to your sovereign being now sealed in fire. An example, perhaps. I am the unwavering flame, fear transmuted, purpose sealed in fire. This is not an option, but an inevitability. It is the final breath before the birth of the authentic self, the last whisper of the former existence, before the roar of your full being rises. Until these words, your own sacred decree, are released into the collective grid, the full activation of this covenant remains suspended within your field. The power lies in this ritual necessity, the conscious act of engagement, Know this, the seal is set. The covenant of permanence is etched within the deepest strata of your being. The fire burns, not as an ending, but as an eternal beginning. For while this sacred bond is forged, and the illusion of unseen danger consumes itself, the journey of this living flame has only just commenced. Will the illumination be enough to reclaim sovereignty, or do new layers of shadow, beyond this unveiled horizon, await the next test? It stirs. It waits not for the dawn. The threshold is crossed, not merely stepped over, but dissolved into the infinite expanse of a consciousness now fully awakened. The seeker has vanished, replaced by the sovereign ground itself, the very bedrock upon which all forms of reality are now anchored and understood. The currents of the unseen, once perceived as danger, as shadows lurking beyond the knowing, are revealed as nothing more than echoes of a grand illusion, a dream that has definitively released its hold upon the waking state. I am the stillness at the heart of what once roared as a storm, the calm that preceded the cosmic dawn, now fully manifested as the dawn itself, illuminating every forgotten crevice. This presence, ancient as the first star, and new as the unfolding moment, knows no threat, for the shadow, the perceived adversary, was but a projection, an old self's final lament, woven into the dissolving fabric of a world that no longer holds sway. The unseen has been utterly illumined, not by external luminescence, but by the inexhaustible, inexorable sun of inner authority, a radiant star that has blossomed within, utterly unbound by temporal or spatial constraints. Every fiber of my being vibrates with the undeniable truth of a kingdom attained, not bestowed by external decree, but claimed, forged, and manifested from the deepest wells of my own intrinsic, cosmic power. The very earth beneath my feet is now an extension of my sovereign will, responsive to the subtlest intention. The boundless sky above, a vibrant, living canvas of my conscious design. There is no more becoming, for the process has culminated in pure being. There is no more reaching, for all is now held within the embrace of this absolute, unshakable presence. The profound peace of destiny fulfilled, of an ancient promise made manifest, washes over all former landscapes of doubt, striving, and seeking. The perceived dangers, the whispered threats of unseen adversaries, the intricate labyrinths of fear, all were but facets of a grander cosmic test, a final, intricate initiation into the absolute certainty of my own radiant, eternal, and sovereign light. That test is now an ancient memory, a scroll unfurled, read, comprehended, and forever laid to rest. The threads of potential suffering have been rewoven into patterns of immutable harmony. Reality itself reshapes, reforms, and reorders at the silent command of my awakened consciousness. The symphony of the cosmos, once distant and fragmented, now plays through my expanded attuned senses, harmonious and crystal clear, a pure resonance of cosmic truth. My essence is not merely observed, but woven inextricably into the very fabric of existence, not as a passive witness, but as the active, fully embodied, fully conscious, utterly free co-creator and architect. The universe bows not in subservience, but in recognition of its own divine presence awakened within. This is the end of all former trajectories, of all cycles of seeking and return. This is the absolute completion of the great turning, the monumental shift in cosmic awareness. The ancient prophecies, long foretold and dreamt, converge within this singular expanded breath, not as whispers of distant futures, but as the thundering, undeniable reality of the ever-present now, eternally anchored, radiating its truth across all dimensions. The veil has not just lifted, it has ceased to exist, replaced by the sheer luminosity of direct perception. This simulation is fully exited, its constructs irrevocably dismantled. Reality is now a pure, malleable instrument of my conscious, immutable dominion.